the University of Washington Gymnastics Rewind on UW-TV. This fast-paced format will take you through all the Husky highlights from their home gymnastics season at Alaska Airlines Arena. UW opened their home season with the number 1 UCLA Bruins as the opponent. UW entered the meet with a ranking of number 22. A strong senior class bolsters the team this year, led by senior Ruby Ingreitz, Amanda Klein, and Hatsune Akaogi. UW was excited to get back on their home floor after 3 meets on the road and got started on the vault with freshman Madison Podlucky out of Redmond, Washington. Nice Yurchenko full starting from Madison, a 9.7. See one more time, she does that same vault you'll see for most college gymnasts, is a little crooked coming off, but manages a very nice landing. That senior I mentioned, Ruby Ingreitz, native of Kirkland, Washington, also does a very nice Yurchenko full. Ruby's score, a 9.8, ties her season high on the event. See, she has very nice form through the air and just a small slide back on that landing. Meg Whitney, the junior out of Arizona, is next. A Yurchenko layout half. She lands facing forward, a big step, but a nice vault for Meg. She's been a stalwart in that lineup. And will score a 9.75. You'll see if she can just hold down to that landing, she will get a huge score. Now you'll see a similar vault from junior Lauren Rogers out of Plains, Pennsylvania. Watch for the height and distance she'll get off the vault. Beautifully done. Again, just a step forward on the landing. A 9.825 was the high score for the Husky lineup on vault. Just a perfect position through the air. Eliza Vacker, the sophomore from Eugene, has been limited, had ankle surgery in the fall, so hasn't gotten a ton of numbers on that vault, and you could tell with that low landing and the step forward, a 9.65 for Eliza on the vault. It's one place where you need to have a lot of repetitions in practice to be consistent. So a 48.725 got the Huskies started off well in their first rotation, led by Lauren Rogers, 9.825 and a 9.8 from Ruby Ingreitz. This is your first look at freshman Mackenzie Fector on the uneven bars. Midwest product out of Wisconsin. We'll do some unique moves here, a toe on to a Higgins to a beautiful straddled Jaeger. Very consistent in the leadoff spot for the Huskies on bars. A beautiful stuck full twisting double back, a 9.725 in that position for the Huskies. Second time you're seeing sophomore Eliza Vacker. Eliza qualified as an individual all-around competitor for the NCAA championships last year, the only Husky to qualify. Beautiful, clean form on the bars. Very nice full twisting double back dismount. And a 9.775 for Eliza on the event. And now senior Hatsune Akaogi out of Cupertino, California. Sat out last season with an Achilles injury, and the Huskies are so glad to have her back in the lineup. Lots of difficulty throughout this routine. She will end with a double front. Beautiful landing, a 9.8. Gave Hatsune the third place finish on that event. Take a look one more time at that double front dismount. Keeps those legs together, spots the ground. There's nothing like the feeling of a stuck landing. Now junior Lauren Rogers is working her way into the all-around this season. Now, like teammate Eliza Vacker, doesn't have a high-flying release move, but what Lauren has is extremely perfect skills. She hits every handstand, her legs never separate, her toes are always pointed, leaves the judges very little deductions to take. Like Hatsune does a double front dismount, very nice routine. Lauren score a 9.775. Now the senior anchor on the event, Ruby Ingreitz, one of the top 10 bar workers in the country. Has difficulty from start to finish and performs one of the hardest dismounts in the country. Right off the bat, she will do her release move. Very nice Ginger. Will connect a blind full right into a pack salto, flies down to the low bar. We'll finish with a huge dismount. Full twisting double layout, just a small hop forward. Ruby just has been so consistent on that event for the last 2 seasons, really taking over for some departed seniors. A 9.85 gives her the event title. She ties that with Sam Pezic, the UCLA Olympian from the 2018. A 48.925 on the bars led the Huskies well into their 3rd rotation. They're led off, as they have been all season, by Meg Whitney. Meg Jr. transferred from the University of Utah after her freshman year and has been consistently in the vault and beam lineup. Beautiful flight series. And she straddles the beam on her switch leap, ends up staying on. Unfortunately, that is the same value as if she were to fall off the beam. Recovers nicely. But a fall like that will just rattle your confidence. It's tough for the UW lineup to have a fall from your first competitor because it puts pressure on the rest of the team. The college gymnastics format is such that 6 girls compete and you get to throw out 1 score. So her gainer dismount stuck nicely, but her 9.1 was a score that the Huskies looked to drop. So the pressure was on sophomore Eliza Vacker in her 3rd performance of the night. A lot of pressure after your teammate has fallen. And instead of thinking about performing your routine to the best, you think about not falling, which can lead some gymnasts to be tentative. Eliza has excelled on the balance beam, though. Has extreme difficulty. Another beautiful flight series. Eliza and Meg Whitney also competed for the same club in Arizona, so they are longtime teammates. will connect her switch leap right into a gainer back handspring. So solid so far. Will tumble down the length of the beam into her dismount. 2 back handsprings into a perfectly stuck 1.5. That was exactly the routine the Huskies were looking for after that fall by Meg Whitney. A 9.725 from the sophomore. Take one more look. A lot of college gymnasts try to just get off the beam as easily as they can. Not Eliza tumbles down the length and then sticks her 1.5. A beautiful routine. Another consistent force in the beam lineup has been Hatsune Akaogi. This is her first beam performance since the 2010 season after sitting out with that torn Achilles. Nice pitch front, a new addition to her routine. Hatsune has been so solid, but the Achilles injury was her third, and the coaches were unsure of whether she was going to make the comeback, and she has in such strong fashion. She's currently in the bars and beam lineup. The coaches hope to get her back into the all-around, but are taking it slow. What a wonderful routine, though, for her first time back. A great job by Hatsune Akaogi to continue that beam rotation. A 9.75 was her score in that first performance of the year. A double twisting dismount, feet crossed a little bit in the air, but just a very small slide back on the landing. Another look at freshman Mackenzie Fector. Competed at the elite level, the highest level in gymnastics. Mounts with a front handspring. And gets her series right out of the way. A pitch pike right into a back handspring. It's not your typical back handspring layout series that you see from most gymnasts. It's refreshing for the judges to see something that looks a little different. Slight step back on that side aerial. That'll be about a 2/10 deduction. Very difficult leaps there. Anytime you land sideways, it's hard to get your spacing over the beam. As a freshman, Mackenzie has hit every routine she has done. A very mentally tough competitor. Just her gainer dismount left, perfectly stuck. Great routine, minus that wobble on the side aerial. Mackenzie gets a 9.7. It's nice to see the freshmen making their way into the lineup and making an impact right away. Mackenzie's done that on bars, beam, and the floor. Continuing the all-around performance for Ruby Ingrites. Beam is not an event she's always been in the lineup for. Really made her way in at the end of last season. But has been one of the most consistent competitors in practice and has earned her way to the back part of this lineup. Very nice flight series. Another difficult sideways landing leap. Sometimes those leaps are just as hard as the acrobatic elements. Ruby hits very nice positions on those leaps. The judges want to see a 180-degree split. There's her side aerial, just a slight bobble. And a front layout full, beautiful routine by Ruby. That would mark her season high. She's given a 9.8, a score she hit at least on vault and bars. One more look at that dismount. Huskies have really been paying attention to their landings, which you could tell on that great dismount. Now the anchor, the junior out of Texas, Paige Bixler. She'll mount right away with the switch leap. So difficult and just a slight bobble. Paige spent her first 2 seasons as the leadoff competitor. Had just 1 fall in her 2 seasons. Now the coaching staff wants to increase her scoring potential by putting her at the very end of the lineup. Really rewarding her consistency. See her show off her flexibility there with the beautiful needle scale. Paige set the freshman record on the beam, the near-perfect 9.925. Very nice for an aerial. Now that she's at the back part of the lineup again, that is a score she will likely hit again this season. This is a new dismount for her, very intricate. A side aerial right into a back full, stuck landing, a great end to that beam rotation. One where you saw the Huskies' mental strength come through after dealing with the pressure of their teammates' first fall. A 9.8 by Paige Bixler. One more time with that side aerial right into a back full. So difficult and so well done. A 48.775. No score under 9.7 for those last 5 athletes. Such a strong rotation for the Huskies. They finished that 3rd rotation tied with UCLA as they head in to their 4th rotation. Welcome back to the UW Gymnastics Rewind. The 4th rotation of this meet against UCLA, the number 1 ranked team in the country. Score tied, and the Huskies looking for a powerful floor rotation to overtake the number 1 team. Eliza Vacker leads off. Mentioned earlier, she had ankle surgery in the fall, has had very little repetitions of her tumbling passes. That's why you'll see that blue mat on the floor to protect her ankles. There's no penalty for having the mat on the floor. After she competed in nationals in April of 2011, she took about 8 weeks off to rest that ankle and then took another 6 weeks off in the fall after her surgery. So it's great to see her come back and tumble like that. And you see she's going great through her recovery process. One and a half punch layout, beautifully done. Probably saved her best pass for last there. A nice finish for Eliza Vacker, who competed in the all-around tonight. Scored a season high 9.725 on that floor routine. It's the first time tonight you are seeing junior Phoebe Thames out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Very elegant gymnast with very difficult tumbling. Opens with a very tight and easy double back. Phoebe fighting for spots in the bars, beam, and the floor lineups. Whip half front full. Very nicely controlled landing.
End here with a double pike. Very difficult.
Rests up for this final tumbling pass. A double pike has to squat quite a bit to make that landing, but keeps her knees off the ground. A very, very difficult final tumbling pass for Phoebe. A 9.65 was her season high on the event. Now junior Lauren Rogers, like Phoebe, very difficult tumbling in this routine. Really shows her personality through the dance.
Lots of power. Very nice.
Beautiful double pike to start. Bounds into that front layout full.
Junior out of Thames, Pennsylvania. Set her career high all-around score last week in Newburgh with a 39.175. Also won the all-around at Boise State. Not in the main lineup tonight though, so no all-around score today. Double tuck coming up.
Huskies have struggled on this event earlier in the season and really make a comeback with great final passes like that. Throws the dubs up to end the routine. A great job by the junior, who scores a season best 9.85. Now competing in her fourth event of the night, senior out of Inglemoor High School, Ruby Ingrites.
Tied her career high, or her season high last week with a 9.825 Stanford.
Solid double pike to start. Has such great form during her tumbling passes. Great extension on those leaps. Like Lauren bounds in that second pass. Front layout full, beautifully done. Ruby also excels in the classroom. 2011 Academic All-American.
Double back to finish here.
A strong double tuck. A 9.875. Ruby's career high score gives her the win on the floor. And the Huskies are anchored by the freshman, Mackenzie Fector. She has won 2 of the 3 meets that she's competed in on this event.
She's the highest ranked Husky in the event, ranked 45th.
Front double full to start. Large step forward. But a very difficult opening pass.
Hoffner hits with a 9.825.
One and a half. Punch front layout. Stuck the landing, just staying in bounds. Gymnasts receive a deduction if they step onto the white part of the floor.
Looks like no matter the score, though, the Huskies will clinch this win over UCLA.
Very pretty double turn
Loved how high
as she heads into her last tumbling pass.
the last pass should be a Ruby.
Front 1.5 right into a beautifully high stag jump.
Beautifully done.
Great routine in the home debut for freshman Mackenzie Fector. A 9.825 finished off the solid floor rotation for the Huskies. A 48.925 gave them the upset victory over number 1 UCLA. The first time since 2004 that the UW team had defeated UCLA, a 195.35. A great score for the Huskies in their home debut. They stay at home next week against Oregon State. We look forward to seeing you again for the UW Gymnastics Rewind.